I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I did an initial video on creating black wealth in the United States and in Europe, the Americas and in Europe. You see, whether you like it or not, we of this color, we are a nation. No mind your nationality. As long as you're a black man, you are an African. You can come from Guyana. You can come from Trinidad. You can come from Bahamas. You are an African. No matter what, we are a nation. That's why I like Julius Malema so much, and Patrick Lumumba. I admire them so much. Now, the Jewish people were initially discriminated against. They lived in the outskirts of many cities in Europe in those days before the First World War and Second World War. Even Italians were not considered white enough at one time in the United States of America. And so the value people have for a race increases with the increase in their economic relevance and value. And if we are to be taken seriously as Africans and people from Africa in the diaspora, we must take economic strength very seriously. I was thinking it was only me that had this kind of burden, and I was pleasantly surprised that my lawyer sent a video made by the stewardship coach, and I will encourage you to check that video, the stewardship coach. And he was saying that if money enters the hands of Asians, the Asian community, that it stays there for 28 days. If it enters the Jewish community, the money goes round for 19 days. And if it enters the white community, the money circulates for 17 days. But if the money enters the black community, it only stays for 6 hours. 6 hours. And the black people spend their money outside the black community. I was watching Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was fighting around the same weight category with Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao invested so much in building housing and all that. I see Floyd Mayweather, I don't know the other assets he has. He was buying more of expensive cars, expensive consumables, and liabilities. Now, if black people patronize black businesses, invest in start-up businesses by black people, patronize black businesses in their localities, within a period of time, the total wealth of black population will increase. I have demonstrated it here. I take myself as the nucleus. I have a man from Anambra State, Joseph Ndife. He produces Jospan paints. I buy all my paints from him. I have introduced him to several people, to government college, usually old boys associations. We got the paint directly from his factory. We used to paint our laboratory, and the price was lower, and it was easier for us to do whatever we were doing. I subsequently recommended him to the next class. He painted my school at Ugeli, my school at Okwokoko. I introduced him to my lawyer. He supplied paint to my lawyer. My lawyer does my legal responsibilities. His daughters attend my school. My visitors that buy land from me, they sleep in his hotel when they come. And my former principal is his friend. They do business together. I have the man that supplies me tiles because I tile most of my schools. I paint only a few areas. His children attend my school. And so I have built a network that we patronize each other. And one way or the other, we have grown financially. The man I buy tiles from, his children attend my school. His cousins or nephews attend my school. I also buy aluminium fittings from him. My aluminium windows, aluminium whatever, I buy from him. He gives me at a reduced price. He gives me an easy payment schedule. So if we can patronize each other, we will do well. The money will be going around us. Our businesses will be growing. When I advertise the businesses of young men around me so that people can also patronize them and buy from them. When I go to preach with my PA, he does trainings, leadership training. I advertise him and advertise what he does. He doesn't need to be my PA forever. Somebody will become his PA. Andrew Carnegie was able to raise millionaires in his workplace. So also, we as Black individuals, we must build an economy around ourselves. Two things I want to mention. There is this AGOA agreement with America. Those of you who are in the United States of America must partner with those of us in Africa to see how we can take products from Africa to export to the United States, and you can sell them there, you make money. Look for what you can bring from there to Africa, and then you see that we are doing well. I have somebody, a member of my mentorship group in South Africa. I have my PA who is part of the administrators of the mentorship group. They interact. They do intellectual transactions, and it brings money to my PA, and he retains some money in South Africa. I've introduced him to somebody in Rwanda. I hope they will start doing business together. That is how to grow your community. That is how to grow your community. That is how the ants work. When it rains in the Niger Delta, you will see ants, they will cling to each other and form a big mass that floats on top of the water until they will reach a tree or a solid soil, and they will form an ant colony there. That is how we as Black people. I'm ashamed that my president wants to buy 200 Toyota vehicles for Nigerian customs services, when we have innocent motors producing vehicles, military-grade vehicles, and there are other automobile companies in Nigeria producing automobiles in the West. At one time, we brought Tata vehicles for our electoral commission. They have all broken down now. While Anambra was producing vehicles that could do the same thing in Enugu, in Anambra State here, or Enugu. Dangote has started producing cars with Peugeot automobile in Nigeria. Why don't we buy our products? Why don't we patronize each other? The Nigerian film industry has grown so much, Nollywood, because Africans have patronized Nollywood. So let's start coming together, patronize each other. There is one other trade agreement between African countries. We have not started harnessing that multi-billion naira dollar industry. I give you an example. In Ghana, they wear nearly the same school uniform, brownish and then yellowish, in Ghana. Now, assuming that we can make school uniforms to be African prints in Africa, and our children wear African prints as school uniforms, do you know that our textile industries will pick up? All our textile industries will pick up. I remember when I was in Ghana, the men, they wear a lot of their Ghanaian prints on top of their trousers. Assuming we make it mandatory that African civil servants should wear African prints to the offices Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will boost the economy of the textile industry in Africa 1,000%. And let me tell you this. If we start to use African prints for our weddings, so-called church weddings, if we start to use African prints for our so-called weddings, Kente, Ashoke, Akwete, I don't know, I saw some beautiful clothes in Ethiopia when I was there. If we start to use African prints for our weddings, instead of colonial mentality of white gown and coat in hot weather, do you know the economic boost it will bring to Africa? It will bring a lot of economic boost. So let's start valuing our own businesses. The man I quoted earlier on said that people think that white businesses are better than black businesses. Fine. What we need is to groom our people. Groom our people. I would prefer to enter Ethiopia Airlines than to enter any other airline. Air Rwanda, Kenya, sometimes Egypt Air, they misbehave a lot. Egypt Air, they misbehave. Senegal, Morocco, Maroc, they misbehaved recently by maltreating a Senegalese. We should boycott that airline for beating up a fellow African in their airport. So we must train our workers to be courteous, but at the same time, let's patronize each other. Let's support each other. God bless you. I am the area grandfather. It is a sin to transfer the mistakes of one generation to the next generation. It's such mistakes you call ancestral curses. Wisdom, well applied, will become ancestral blessing. I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I have a seminar coming up on the 7th and on the 8th of June. It's an online seminar. It's by 7 p.m. Send a message to +234 70 52 13 67 63, and I will send you a message of how to register. Remember, I have books for sale and I have properties for sale. God bless you.